going on, guys? It's the Mad Dragon. We're back in Rugby 25 for the latest update. Will it fix everything? Will this be the greatest rugby game ever played? Will this be the dream patch we've all been waiting for? This is the latest in the 3-weekly update pattern they've been doing for this game. The Women's World Cup was sort of like an outlier because I think that's been building into the game for a long time. As usual, we'll do the timestamps and everything down in the description so you can jump to any section you particularly want to have a look at. If you want to jump straight into this patch today, I'll put a quick timestamp on screen. Jump to that bit because that'll be talking, just about this patch, and we'll be moving on with it. I want to talk a little bit about from last patch to this patch, which some of you may not be interested in at all. Skip to the next bit if you want to, but I'm going to jump into it. So the last patch came out was the Women's World Cup. And I was able to enjoy it a little bit more. I enjoyed the spectacle of it all. I enjoy a lot of the cinematics. I enjoyed the national anthems, which a few people have told me were already in the game. So I gave it props for something that apparently was already in the game. It's just so limited that you never, ever get to see it. So, okay, that was already in the game. I basically didn't push the game very hard at all in order to just try and enjoy it. And we managed to have a bit of fun with it, and it was okay. But it's... Man, is this game hard to work with. You might have seen on the channel, I was trying to do the videos for all of the Autumn International games going on. I did as many games as I could for the first week of the Autumn Internationals, and every single game has something dumb in it. And it's just how it goes. We had in the Scotland-New Zealand game, I had Ben White score a try twice, and neither of them count. I had invincible plays. I had the one with... I think it was Italy versus Australia where I just absolutely got a try, but then Australia grabbed me and all the momentum stopped and I got dragged back over the line. It's just, this sort of stuff just looks visually terrible. I've had so many issues in even getting those games out. Like, those are the best games. With other rugby games I play, one match. Whatever happens, happens. That's the video. Let's hope it can be entertaining. Let's see if I can try and make it fun for you guys to watch. That's the idea behind it. Rugby 25, I am putting in 6, 7, 8, 10 matches to get something. Because there's so many games that end up being 7-0 to me because I go in the lead and I try and sort of back off a little bit and let the AI do, they won't do anything. Sometimes it's 40-0 to the AI because something breaks and you can't tackle them and you can't get the ball off them. Sometimes it's 70-0 to me and it's not entertaining to watch, and then most of the time just something goes wrong that looks so disjointed and broken the game doesn't want to play out. Loads of matches. I try and keep the score close to make the videos fun to watch, and the AI then just will do anything it can to take a draw. It doesn't want the win. It doesn't want to go for it. Even when they can win. I had one game where they basically broke the line. It was 10 points to 7. They did a clean line break. They could go on to score the try and win, and they stopped in front of the post to take the drop goal, and it ended terrible. Rubbish. Looked visually awful, and also I just gave up on it. I tried filming the second week's games. I tried doing the Wales-Japan game like 7 times. And every game was just bad. The game is not unplayable. I see the word unplayable float around this game. And of course, it's the wrong word. It absolutely is playable. You can get in and play it, and most matches you can complete without there being like something that breaks the game necessarily, or means you actually can't complete the match. The game is not unplayable. I will get to the stage now where I'm going, I think it's unwatchable, which is a totally different thing. Even Rugby 22 was chaotic and mad, and I had all sorts of comments, but Rugby 25 is at a stage where if I make a video, I don't even have fun watching the game back, and if I don't have fun watching it back, I don't see why anyone else would, so I don't put the video up on the channel, and that's where this game is at. It's really struggling, and it's a real shame that it's got to this place now where so much stuff that seems to get added into the game and things that I enjoy have seemed to be disappearing. I've been in the Discord the last few days and sort of mentioned a few things. Like the try animations. At one point, try animations were really good. Players were sliding along the ground, scoring nice tries. Sometimes you could run from distance. You sort of like wagged a finger in the air and you dived and you held the ball naturally and you scored over a try. They seem to have all gone. We're back to just pounding the ball in the ground, or players like somersaulting the try. And I don't even think the try animations look good. Mauls all work. Mauls is today's update, by the way. Mauls all seem to work, 7 patches ago. Then they just stopped. So now they're being looked at. The scrums got updated, but now the QTEs don't work on the scrums. So Scrums are pointless. You either just lose the ball or it just collapses as a penalty against you. There's nothing you can do. There's no way to play around it. It just doesn't work. And that's where the game is at. It's really, really struggling. So yeah, if there's a less Rugby 25 content on the channel, just because I'm not enjoying what I'm seeing. These videos are different. I'm testing things. I'm diving into stuff. I'm going through their patch notes, which we have none of today, again. So we'll dive into today's one, but that's just a bit of a mental side of where I am. This game is making me go insane, trying to do it a little bit more. But we'll go over today's update then. Mauls! Exclamation mark. I think that's about it. That's all I've seen. There is no patch notes. They have not done any updates to the socials for this game in terms of patch notes on Twitter, Steam, anything since August. We're in November. I don't know what the updates are anymore. All I've seen on the FAQ page is hints that the mauls have been worked on. How have they been worked on? What are we looking for? What's changed visually, mechanically? I don't know. We'll get in and we'll have a look at it. I believe kits have also been added as well for the URC. Like the more up-to-date kits, which I think is fun. We might do a URC together. I happen to be wearing an Ospreys hoodie today. So, you know what? Let's do Ospreys. We'll do Ospreys versus someone. Take me back to where I enjoyed this game. And we can do a little bit of that. Yeah, there's just so much in this game that just isn't working how it's meant to. So I believe they've now got... Oh, this is what they've called them now. Home 26... Away 26, home 25 away. So now you've got the variants of kits. I quite like that. Some people are flagged. Let's go over to the Ospreys. Home, away. Oh, no, not the Ospreys. Anyone else? I kind of want to play with a slightly more. Connacht, we could do Connacht. Who else has got one? Home 25. Ah, so if they've got the home 25, you know they've already been done. What do we do? Ulster, I guess. We could do Ulster. Let's go with that. Black and gold. Why not? Make it a little bit more fun. Who else has got one? Oh, someone was saying about the Lions. I also saw that on the... that they've got this one, which was like the Lions... like away kit now, but it's the wrong colours. And I saw that in the FAQ page. It's got the wrong stuff, and I don't really know a lot about the new kits or whatever. But that's fun. Let's chuck this on, and we'll dive into it. We're going to leave it on hardest difficulty as usual. We'll take off damp. I hate that these settings have like sticky filters now. Every single time I go into this game, it has to be changed back to what it was. It's so infuriating. So we'll jump into it and we'll jump into a game. We'll talk a little bit about it. Now, we're going to be looking at mauls today because it's the only thing I'm aware of that's actually been changed in the game. So there's going to be a lot of kicking to touch. There's going to be a lot of swapping teams because I want to keep kicking it to touch and going for the mauls and stuff. So I'll try and edit all that out as best I can where I'm doing all those little swaps over and stuff. They've also had the launch, Big Ad Studios themselves. They've had the cricket game. Cricket 26 has been launched. Which I've read the FAQ page for that, and people actually can't play the game. That one is actually unplayable because apparently they've got their special day one patch, which of course we had the day one patch for Rugby 25, which changed nothing. But they have the day one patch for the cricket game as well, and it didn't release with it, so you can't even play that game for most people if you're on console apparently. So it is. I'm getting used to the themes now. I'm beginning to see it across the games, unfortunately. As it is, I think Rugby League had the same thing as well, right? It was the day one patch. I was jumped into that FAQ page for a little bit before that game launched. Day one patch is going to sort everything. I've given up faith in the day one patch anymore. So let us get started out then. We're going to go straight to the mauls. I'm going to really, honestly, I can't imagine there's that much to test with the mauls. I'm going to try and do one half, looking at the mauls, and then I'm going to try and move on and do something else. So the aim is we'll do one half doing the line outs, the mauls, see what feels different, and then we'll carry on playing the game. So I want the actual gameplay is something worth testing, and I just don't think there's that much. I like the stingers that are in this though. Right, so we're gonna go for long to a maul. Nobody jumps. In we go, maul time, boys. Let's see what is different. Okay, well the ball is now at the back of the maul, which is good. It is still the crab walkie forwards thing. Can I add this guy in? Who's in the red cap for some reason? Oh, yeah. Oh, now he's in. Now he's in, boys. Now we're driving. Not be it. We're just there. Here we are, boys. It's coming. It's coming. 30-meter try. Very slowly. Every single player. Oh, it actually collapsed. I think every single player for black was offside, though. But went through. Okay. And we'll just charge to the line. But luckily, they managed to get there. Because they always do. The AI is really good at getting back. Am I playing on the on a different camera. I feel like I'm really panning away a lot on this one. So, we had the driving mauls. The driving mauls... Did I pick up with a 9? Still can't pick up with a 9. Wish I could pick up with a 9. Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to pick it up with a 9, ref, but game won't let me. So, we'll dive across. Still got the Superman dive try animation. This is what I was saying at the start of the video. Why am I diving like Superman with the ball in hand? What happened to tucking the ball under the arm and diving across? I find it so weird when they hold the ball in one hand. I think that looks terrible. So the mauls look slightly different, actually. They actually look like they've had a little bit of revamping, which is nice, this kicking thing. I am going to do a bit of testing with kicking later on as well. Because I want to see if a theory I have is slightly different. So we got the different mauls now. It actually looks like the player stood up at the front. The ball actually moved to the back of the maul. Hooray! It actually looks slightly better. It did collapse. I don't know why it collapsed. Nobody got penalised for it collapsing. I would have thought it would be somebody's fault for that collapsing, whether mine or my own. Ref didn't give me any indication as to who it was. Let me... Whoop. Could have been a knock-on, maybe not. Let's go down. Let me pass this back and we'll go for another one. Stop charging me so quick when I want to do this. Right, next line out. Let's do it again then. And have another look at it. So we're going to go for long and a maul again. Let's go long maul. That's 2 they've not jumped for. So held up. They sort of get in there. I like that the player at the back does actually collect it. Number 7's not really sure where he's... where he's meant to be joining in at. Somewhere. Get in, buddy! Come on! It's like that episode of Friends where Ross just dives over the scrum. Okay, down again. I kind of want to have it in a little investigation as to what goes on here. Let me just... It's like a stop motion film. Okay, let me have a look at this. So, they get the ball. I feel like for some reason the graphics look a little bit better for me today as well. I don't know why that looks slightly different. So, we get the ball in. We're held up. Ian Henderson here has got the ball. My hooker, for some reason, doesn't actually run to the back, which is an interesting one. Doesn't always happen in a maul, but I'd expect that. Does actually look like he has an animation where he's handing it back. Hard to get in it. Sorry, boys. Excuse me. A little bit personal. Okay, so he is getting it in there. Oh, we got a little bit of a... We got a hand through somebody's leg, and we teleport that one down. Okay. And then he just sort of... He has it. Then the hooker gets in the back. And when I would expect the hooker to be entering where 6 is now. And does latch on. Oh, sorry. I didn't realise that number 7 actually went through the maul. Which... You know, would be good. Would be good if they could, you know, swim through the maul in order to try and collapse it. Didn't. So we drive it on. Number 7 does his little... Hang on, let me do my little janky speed up. Okay, so we get to here. Now, why does this collapse then? Is there anything in the game to explain the reason for collapse? Everyone just sort of detaches at one go. And we go down. And then number 7 ran away and then got back in. And then we have a playable ruck. Well, at least they're playable. At least they're playable from there. I still feel like there needs to be a referee call as, you know, down by black, down by pink. Then I guess they'd have to do every variation for kits. What would they do? Down by home side, down by away or something? Oh, we got turned over at that one, so the Rucks are still... Anyone's guess. 3 players in. No turnover for me. Of course not. But looks like they've changed. I wonder if the AI will also go for a maul. Let's see if we give the ball back to them. Let's see if they go for a maul as well then. Because the AI does love their mauls, but for some reason they always seem to become a little bit unplayable. So let's see if we can get the AI to do a maul. Whether we could push them back and maybe see if it collapses on their end. So we're going to let them do the line out now. I'm just going to let them jump. I'll set for maul, which apparently doesn't select as an option. Everybody in, boys. We hold it down. We've got a good drive here. We're driving them back. Ref says use it once, and they are able to play it. And I was not able to select a player then, by the way. That's very lucky that they threw it. I could not change player. I pressed change player about 4 times then. And it didn't let me change. But okay. An interception line run by my boy, And we get over. See, that's a much better try animation. I don't know why all the dive animations don't at least look like that, with the ball tucked under the arm. It looks so much better. Now, I want to test something very quickly as well. Just it doesn't really affect these ones. I have now got this thing. So I can now see, you can now... Oops, I went a little bit too quick. Okay, slightly off. So, I've now got this thing, which I'll implement later. You guys can now see all the buttons I'm pressing on my controller, right? Because I believe there's an issue with the kicking from the very far side. I still feel like the conversion kicking is a little bit too easy. Did a little bit past me then, because I was just trying to show off the diagrams and how they all work. But I want to test out the kicking on the very far edges. Because I did have a game that was the France-New Zealand game. I can't remember which one it was now. Where at the end of that game, I had a kick with Ramos. And of course, I know how to kick in this game. I've got 400 hours in this game in kicking. And I'm absolutely blitzing the kicks. But for some reason, I had that... Oh, they still don't pick up the loose ball. But I had that 30-degree angle kick, which doesn't happen. I know I don't hit this analog stick. So I kind of want to test scoring in the corner. Oh, we still got no defenders there. Doesn't help the referee's in the same colour kit as me. And see if we actually get that on a straight edge and see if that works in terms of... Whoa, what a bullet pass. Still breaking through those tackles. I love it. Oh, and I ran away again. Early, no, good one for them. Right, let me... Oh, I can't actually... I was going to swap over and take that one. Yeah, I want to test out the kicking from the far touchline and see if it actually registers correctly and what it does. If we can get a scrum as well, this will be really useful to see if my QTEs do work. So you can see on screen that I am doing the QTEs and the game doesn't register them. That was a nice, kind of a nice try by the AI again. It's just running around and getting around me a little bit, but fair enough. They did get there. Let's have another dropout. See if I can actually... I wonder if I can push them to actually just kick it back to me, because I would like to try one more maul. That's a very short kickoff. Barely making it to the 22. Let's try and... Whoop! Back inside. Oh, I love this game. It's so hard to, like, gauge. I keep thinking the referee is me, by the way, as well, which isn't helping. That guy ran a really nice line. A few people have mentioned as well. I've seen it in the comment sections and in the Discord as well. It sounds like a lot of people are also struggling with the player selection. It's not just me, and not being given the player that you'd absolutely want. Still got really deep running lines. That's just bump you off. And players not being the right defenders you'd want in order to make the most of the opportunities presented to you in order to make the tackle. Let's just sort of run through as we make our way up. Let's see if we can get in for the corner. I still want to kind of do that. Nobody there again. I still feel like the AI is a monster at the turnovers. They still cause all sorts of issues for me. I actually tried to outrun the pass then. He actually held on to the pass. Does feel like the AI is maybe playing in a slightly different way. Still feel like it is just worth hounding the first receiver and then just ignoring him. Like this time they're going to go right. I'm going to just ignore this guy and go out right here and try and get him. I still feel like you can just do that. That one we won. Why did we win that one? Who knows? Who knows? Let's go out this way. So deep on the run. No possible way to make advantage of this. We're actually at half time. Like, no one in. Big gap as well. Oh, and then they just kick the ball off as well. All right, you know, inside their own 22. They're already in the lead because of the scoreline at the minute. That's kind of fair enough. You know, maybe I accept that one. I want to quickly go back over to this side just because I want the... we've actually still got the names on screen, which is nice for now. And then they'll disappear with that. Now, the name thing, I know I hark on the name, having the players' names on screen a little bit as well. JNT did actually message me and was like, actually explain what the issue is around that. And it does actually sound kind of complicated to try and fix out. And it's a little bit more to do with that the AI don't play in a human-y fashion where they've got one player. So the game doesn't actually know who to tell you is on the name bar at the bottom. It doesn't actually know what to display. So it's a little bit more of an issue of how to work out who it's actually displaying to you. But the other issue is that it doesn't tell you when they do get the ball back always that they do have it. Like, let's go for a front jumper. We'll go for the maul. What if we had like 2 players in? We then add more. Referee says that's once. So he said it's once. I've now got all the men in. I'm now driving back forwards. Purple is all offside. Still can't, like, break away with the hooker. I can pass. It just seems to collapse after an amount of distance, which is maybe how they're going to try and work out not to have the overpowered, you know, that you just get a 5-meter maul and drive it over. Maybe that's what they're thinking. I've got nobody over here. Let's do the classic work our way around here. See if we can get in for the corner. No, they love. The AI is so good. And they got another turnover. All right, well, we can do one more line out and go for a driving maul try, right? Let's see how that works itself out. Let's see if we can get over for a try or if it just stops. I have known rugby games to do either or. Let's see what happens if we do this. We can't get a better line out from here, right? Hopefully won't get poached. We'll just go for a front jumper and maul. And then they seem to get some sort of buff. You know, they got the right call, which I'm fine with. But I never know in this game if the jumper, the line out is real or not. Is this a scrum? All right, we got a 5-meter scrum. So we can test my QTEs on screen. You guys can all see it. That I am pushing the correct QTEs. Now, I've played like 6 other rugby games recently, so hopefully I'm going to remember what the QTEs are. LT and RT. I'm aiming before the green bar. You'll be able to see it on screen if I mistime it or not. Let's see what happens. Did you see me push it and nothing got registered? I pressed that one a bit early. That one I'll blame. You see me pushing the buttons and nothing registering? Doesn't matter where I push him, in fact. There we are. That one counted. Not that one. So you can't win scrums. So scrums are broken. So scrums are still broken. Hasn't been affected. Still unplayable. Because it doesn't matter what you do at scrums. It doesn't matter what team you are. Because the AI is going to win that initial hit anyway. And then if you do the drive, even if you've got the better team, it doesn't matter because you can't win. So they revamped scrums that were basic, but worked. And now they're more complicated, kind of, but don't work. So, you know, I don't know. What do you do with that? Right, I want to give another go at the driving maul. Let me have the ball back, please. Swap teams immediately. Ball goes the other way, right? Like, there's definitely some sort of weird advantage to the AI where they're just able to take the ball off you. Let me try and get in. Swap back over teams. They've turned it back over. Like, it's so weird. You can just... And I know most people won't... Oh. And I know most people won't see that because most of you are not insane and would play in such a fashion where you would constantly swap teams. I do it because of videos. Most people don't see this. But it is how it works. If I got the ball... What even happened then? They got the ball here, didn't they? Then threw it. Oh, then I took it there. Okay, I didn't even know what happened. Let me try and hit this gap. Right, let's go down for a bit of a run here. Bernard has apparently not got the speed to get around any of these players. Let's go right. If they go right, surely they've got the room. Surely Timony has the pace to be able to get there. Somebody hunted down by the flanker. Can't get... Oh, and he's in the way of the ball again. The pathing, still an issue. Everything's still an issue. Away we go again. Loose head prop. We got to get to that corner, boys. Slowly does it. Get to the ruck. Deep pass. The support runners. Oh, they got a turnover again. I don't even... You can't even make stuff happen in this game. Like, you can't do anything. It's so frustrating. This is what you have to face. When you like someone like me who makes content creation on it, you're trying to make videos and stuff. This is what you face. Trying to make a game entertaining. What do you do? I'm trying to play in a way that the game, like a game of rugby would, like you're going down the pass chain, you're trying to go from ruck to ruck, and there's no point. Because the AI will just take the ball off you. There's nothing you can do. The players aren't supported in the line at all. You can't do anything. All you can do is what people do online, where they pass the ball out and then they go, well, let me run this way. Oh, now I'm on the outside and make a breakthrough because the AI can't deal with it. And that's the only thing that... Look at me still going by weaving in and out. It's the only thing that like seems to like work in this game. Let me go out here and run sideways. Oh, there's my big gap to run through. Look at it. Look how easy it is. And the game doesn't know how to deal with it. And bang, all the way through I go for a try effortlessly when I cheat. Because if you play properly, the game doesn't allow it. You get turned over and they just tackle you endlessly. If you cheat, it just it just goes through. It's so frustrating how easy it is to do that. Right, let me test the kick from the long range again. I mean, that's a try. We don't need a TMO for this. But mauls do seem to be better, so good, I guess. I mean, we've got better mauls. I gotta glad there's slightly better mauls, but I just don't think they're the big problem at the minute. Right, we're gonna go long range kick, really tricky. I'm gonna do the kick right from the corner. We've got a sub running on there. We make sure that's getting through the post. Right, let's see if we will have the diagram on screen. I won't know till it's in editing whether or not I got this correct, or even if it goes wrong. So I'm gonna go for the big kick here. Bang. Okay, that one worked correctly. So this is what I don't understand about some of these kicking things. 400 hours in this game. You saw in the top left there, it said 2 degrees left, 2 degrees right. Like, that's about my kicking variance, right? I know how to do kicking in this game. And you go watch that France game, and I smash it, you know, 30 degrees to the right. Why? I don't do that. That doesn't happen. Oh, man. Right, lift it into the air. Okay, we've got another maul. Maul in the middle of the field. Let's see if what goes on here. Everyone committed into this maul. My attacking line is a ball behind my own players. Marching forward. Everyone is offside. So if I pick up with the scrum half now. I'm trying to pick up with the scrum half. Okay. No. I was going to try and pick up with the scrum half while they were all offside and see if it counted. I don't think it does. Away we go, a little chip kick. Will I catch this one? No! No, you won't, Mad Dragon. How dare you believe you have the ability to catch your own chip kick as opposed to someone teleporting. Oh, out the back. Whoops, still going. Little kick over top. That's a lovely kick. It'll be a lovely 50-22, except it shouldn't be because it was passed back inside. Oh, no, they've actually given it the right way. That's a positive. Right, 3-man line out. 3-man maul. Gonna go for that front jumper. Boys, get in. Everybody in. There we go. Now we're rocking. Okay. I am picking up and running. So the pickup doesn't work from the maul. Another scrum. Well, I'm going to lose this scrum. Because I can't do the inputs.
Crouch. Bind.
I can do them early, but not when you actually need them to. Won that one, doesn't matter. It's really weird that you win the hook, but that doesn't allow you to the ball because bind was more important in this game. They've got to be offside out here, ref. Pick it up. Run, man. The tight head prop. He's running away with it. Nobody can stop him. Vandenberg. Absolutely. Taken off the ball, but it won't be stopped. Hardest difficulty. The most intense rugby simulation game of all time. There it is. I don't know. That kick has been an issue. Fullback doesn't. Well, winger doesn't pick it up. Swoop in, pick it up. There we are. I don't know. But that's what the problem is. That's the game. That is the game. That is how it unfortunately works at the minute. It's so hard when you do these these videos and you want to you know, make them entertaining. You want to try and go over the gameplay and do stuff, and that's how you sort of play. You just make these clean breaks down the wing. The AI running with a tight head prop, but all the AI is running with him, you know, far away. It's just rough to be able to deal with. The mauls do look better. The mauls do work better. They used to work okay. They've got some changes to them, which I do think are nice. It's the only thing that I've heard that was mentioned in this update, so it's hard to talk about the gameplay. They haven't said they've changed anything in the gameplay, even though I feel like it is the sort of thing that needs to be impacted. But the visual cues look a little bit better. I like that the ball's ending up at the back of the maul. The jumper sort of getting wrangled at the front and stuff. It's just, but when you think about mauls in a rugby game, and I sort of mentioned this in the Discord again the other day. Oh, I didn't actually do it correctly there. But there's a couple of other sections to mauls that you want to be able to do. I feel like in order to get a rugby game feel like they've really nailed mauls, you want to be able to splinter off from the line with your hooker. You might want to try and roll the maul one way or the other, and players that get offside, they have to detach from the maul and get back around. It is a real problem with quite a lot of rugby games, to be honest, that they sort of end up in this like crab walky thing where everyone is just in now. You know, this is everyone. This is like a 16-man maul, and we just, you know, sort of inch forward. Nobody's collapsing. Nobody's moving in the maul. It's basically a scrum. You know, at this point, nothing's sort of moving around. I do find it a little weird that the hooker. I like that they collapse now. I think that's a nicer positive. It is weird to me that the hooker doesn't end up at the back. Like the hooker there is like the first man in, as opposed to it sort of prioritizing the other players and with the hooker. The ball at least does get to whoever's at the back, so that's good. It's not locked to like a player. This time it's the number 8. I think it was the number 6 before. So I like that that's, you know, changing with it. But like nobody from this side is, you know, trying to get through. Nobody's slowing it down. When they do collapse, they just sort of flop and then go into. I mean, there's going to get to a stage where this begins to almost look indistinguishable from a scrum. You know, with the way they're sort of all lining up and stuff, and maybe they're sort of reusing some assets and stuff, or sort of the animations from that. But at least now the player at the back does have it. At least they do collapse. I still feel like there needs to be an indicator as to why it's collapsed. I don't know if that's to do with, like, you make a certain amount of distance and the game just stops you, because it feels like once you have momentum in the maul going forwards, it doesn't stop. The AI isn't able to add more players to slow you down. They're not able to do anything. Once you get going forwards, you're just going forwards forever. But I feel like the referee needs to maybe say down by black, down by pink, you know, needs to have some sort of indication as to who's gone to ground. If it's gone to ground illegally, you know, is that then a penalty to me? No. I mean, I've got the go forward. I've got the momentum behind me. I also feel like if they're going to have the maul setups, because they do have, which I quite like in this game, that they have that you can set for maul, so therefore your defense is slightly better against the maul. So as the ball comes in here, this time they went for the jumper, but you can also set for the maul. What I would also like is maybe if you don't commit a man in the air, that you would have the ability to opt for the sack, as opposed to setting for a maul and trying to be counter-attacking, and you're just trying to hold up. You actually, like, you know what, we're going to really try and target the jumper. So as soon as he hits the ground, like, again, even this animation looks a little bit weird. He, like, comes to ground, and even though I've selected maul as the pink team, both pink players then create an obstruction, because they're both in front of the ball carrier. But then number 3 just teleports through him, it doesn't matter, commits a standard tackle, then stands up to hold him up for the maul, which, fair enough, pink is still in the middle with him. And then once the maul begins to form, they all just sort of hold in this position, as opposed to, when I think of a maul, you've probably got the player creating the maul on the black team in this instance, would also be standing up and trying to reach around and trying to get the ball. You know, there would be a bit of a wrestle there, as opposed to immediately, you know, sort of flopping down and going towards his lower back. I'm expecting him up. I want him to try and take that ball. I want him to, if he's going to go for the sack, you've got to drag him to ground early. You know, maybe there would be an option for slightly more combos of buttons. So from this option, you know, as pink, I want to go for front jumper maul. From the defending standpoint, maybe I choose set for maul. And then once the ball comes in, pink gets lifted into the air. Pink has got the ball. I've already set up for a maul. None of my guys jump on the black team because I've set for a maul. Maybe it then gives me 3 options. You know, maybe you press B for driving maul. Maybe X is defensive maul. We're just holding it position. And then A is going to go for the sack. And you get a slightly different set of button combinations you could do in order to try and target that ball carried out. Because at the minute, although they've worked on, obviously, that the mauls now work, which great, I'm glad the mauls work, and the ball does end up at the back of the maul, as opposed to sort of getting stuck in the middle there, I still feel like there's an issue of, once you get to this point, it's the same. Nothing happens. You know, okay, eventually you march 5 yards forward, I don't know, 10 yards forwards, and it just flops. Okay, well, that's what it does now. But there's no reason why. There's no penalties given. There's also nothing you can do as the defending team. Just so happens to be that, like in this example there, I've got more players in this maul than the AI, and therefore I'm moving forwards. I've got all 8 players of mine in, whereas they've only got 7. Why are they not sticking in another forward to slow me down if that progression's moving on quicker along the sort of way? Would it make a bit more of a difference if I added players in a different order? If I sort of put 3 in and they're getting to go forwards, if I add in a player, should a big chunk of the momentum be shut down and you try and get them to be forced to play it out and stuff? I feel like there's more that needs to maybe be done around that sort of ruck time as well to make it, I don't know, just feel a little bit more fleshed out. It just always sort of still ends up as this crab walk thing. Let's just see if we can actually try and get over for a try from the maul. We're nearing. We're nearly there, boys. Held up. Okay, maybe you can't. Maybe you can't get over. We're going for another one. Can we get over? Is it possible to get over for a try from a maul now? Do we inch our way over? Oh, you can. Okay. Okay, hang on. There might be something extra here to quickly talk about. So you can now inch your way over. I haven't got the face cam on, but you can now inch your way over. And your number 8. We'll dot it down. It's a little bit, all right. You know, he does get it down eventually. He sort of just squats down and puts it down. But you know what? You can actually score now from a maul. You know what? I think mauls have actually been improved pretty well. Man, that's one of those ones where I wish I had the stick on. That might be something to do a little bit more with. I went over the power bar. Not entirely sure there. You know, but glad the mauls have been, you know, impacted. I think there's so many. Oh, we still got passes to ground. It just feels like none of the other gameplay issues that are very apparent in a single game actually get, you know, sort of hit. So just that line there. Oh, no, there we go. Run away. Sideways. Oh, look at me slalom. Look at me slalom through. You know, I would like to see a bit more of the actual gameplay get affected. All right, well, you know, we'll take it. And maybe a bit more of the momentum tackles as well. I'd like to see if they turn that over. I think they have, yeah. I have seen some people say that the AI... Why have they made that decision? Why would you do a crossfield kick? 5 meters from your own line. You know, I want to see the AI do crossfield kicks, absolutely. But you want to see it, you know, on attack, right? You know, as a different option, trying something to do for... There's still no contestable catches on a crossfield kick for some reason, for the AI. You know, I just happen to catch that one, whereas I don't always. I don't know. Well, mauls are slightly better. Take that as a win. I have no idea what they're on to next. Some people were saying that in the sort of little roadmap breakdown we had on the FAQ page that that this is now like all the major gameplay elements they spoke about in the roadmap, and that there's nothing else now. I still think there's lots to be worked on. I think the AI decision making, the AI's ability to do the side steps, the ability for you to play the ball with the scrum half actually working. Scrums need to be fixed. Support runners need to be fixed. I think some of the try animations need to be changed and find those better try animations and make them more like default rather than the one where you sort of punch the ball into the ground, or the one where you diving with the ball in one open hand is such a weird thing to even be in this game for me in terms of the try animations. I always think it looks visually very, very weird because I can't imagine a player ever having the gall to try and score a try like that. It's not like a swan dive. It's not like the Chris Ashton, you know, swan dive. Oh, okay, I'll just pick that up. Go this way. You know, it's not like the Chris Ashton swan dive. You know, where they leap into the air and you're sort of coming down. It's like they just sort of hold it in one hand through any try animation. You know, we do it again here. Imagine if someone did that in a game. Holding the ball out here As they, like, nothing's happening. There's no reason for that to happen. You know, 2 hands. There's nothing wrong with 2 hands. Hold on to it with 2 hands and put it down. If you're going to hold it in 1 hand, it should be in the tucked arm hand. You know, as you dive with 1 hand out to protect your own face from hitting the ground, you know, it goes down. There are better try animations in this game, and I just can't seem to ever get them. I never seem to be able to hit them the right way. But yeah, mauls have been changed. Let me know what you guys think of the new mauls down in the comment section. They seem to work, which is the most initial thing. I like that the ball gets moved to the back. I like that they collapse. I'd say that the mauls have changed there in quite a positive direction. The gameplay wise, obviously, hasn't really been touched or doing anything dramatically different, which is the main problem. Is that it, from a content creation standpoint, this is a tough game to make videos on, because it's, you know, so many of the games you have to really like stand back and like not play properly in order to get the game to feel even kind of realistic. I've got an issue with players not getting in. There's still that weird thing where sometimes your players don't get in to the ruck, and you just know a turnover's coming. Like, they all sort of stop for a second. I'm going to run out here and get ready for this pass. You know, they always do the same thing. You can just read where they want to go. I still haven't seen that tap tackle's been added back into the game. Or players still just not in position, falling off of tackles. All these things, you know, the major things that have just been, I feel like they've been in the game for a while now. And how do you play around it? How do you make this look interesting? They're just going to run short, do an offload, an unnecessary pass. They've gone all the way back the other way. They had a great gap through, a bump off again. Have another turnover. I have seen people say that they were losing games, like the AI was like actually beating them and getting like a lot of scores. And I've had those instances where the AI sometimes randomly is able to score loads of points against you. They just sort of play way too good almost, like inhumanly good. That guy didn't get tackled. Number 11 did not get tackled then, but fell to ground as if a tackle did happen. I managed to keep outside of his range, and he still made it work. I don't know. There's so many other little gameplay elements that really need effects. Let me run sideways. Oh, look at that gap. Oh, nothing you can do. I love how that's never been fixed. That you could just go, let me run this way, and then just find that next little gap through. Oh, what a bullet pass! Where's my attacking line? We've still not got set plays. We've still not got the ability to affect player line depth and width and all these other things. I don't know. There's so much that I'd like to be in this game to make it feel better. Let me just run through there. There. Oh, actually got to me. Incredible. Can't believe he got to me there. Slow ball. Going to be a turnover. You just know it. You just know it. The players literally don't engage with the game properly. And then it's just a turnover. It's just what happens. I don't know. There we are, guys. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. I don't know if there'll be more Rugby 25 content over the Auto Internationals. We'll have to see if I can try and drag something out of this game to make it more fun. This is still, again, it's on hardest difficulty. I'm sort of messing about, and it's 14-0. I've got 80% of possession. You know, I'm just absolutely carving up the team. It's so easy to sort of run through and do. And if you take the foot off the gas, the AI cheat back, and they just, you know, you can't re-tackle them and stuff. There we are. Let me know your thoughts, though. I do enjoy hearing back from all you guys. I'll see you for the next update, whatever that may be, whenever it may be. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.